Tom Brenner, The New York Times. We saw Donald Trump's true colors on Saturday, when he was given the chance, a ready-made moment for presidential grace, to denounce the neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, VA, and instead found wrongdoing on many sides. That was Trump minus the pressure and the planning. That was his initial instinct, his first impulse. We saw a different palette at a lectern in the White House on early Monday afternoon, but it was pure artifice, and muted and unpersuasive because of that. Sure, he got some of the brush strokes right, the succinct assertion that racism is evil, the specific call-out of the KKK and white supremacists, the remembrance, finally, of Heather Heyer, who died as a consequence of the precise hatred that it took him more than 2 days to name. But we should note that just hours before he stepped up to that lectern, supposedly to make things right, he used that infernal Twitter account of his to taunt a black chief executive, Kenneth Frazier, for resigning from an administration advisory board. That was unscripted Trump, and he was peeved and hostile, not penitential and healing. We should also note that he began his brief statement on Monday by congratulating himself on the American economy and implicitly taking credit for what he said were a million new jobs. This is what our self-consumed, ungenerous president prefers to do, brag. He thumps his chest when he should be on his knees. A tone just inspire. These are outside of his character and beyond his ken. We can't hope for any better, not at this point. And neither can his fellow Republicans, who find themselves at another juncture, maybe the most important one yet, where they must decide whether to continue showing him allegiance or carve out greater space between him and them. They're no doubt judging the politics of it all and looking to the numbers. How I wish they'd judge the morality of it all and look to their souls. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather that Trump said what he did on Monday than maintain his silence, which was breathtaking, galling, and spectacularly revealing. He needed to speak, and to say some of the very words he did. But the length of his delay upped the ante on his delivery, which was passionless. He barely cleared the bar of grudging. He fell miles short of stirring justice will be delivered. No matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We are all made by the same almighty God. Racism is evil. Amen, amen, amen and amen. But this preacher's sermons have been wildly inconsistent and as often designed to divide as to unite. That was his path to power, one much uglier than most politicians travel, and his election didn't do what so many of the Republicans who reluctantly supported him hoped that it would and make him a bigger person. No, Trump is the yardstick by which all other Republicans measure large. He makes you yearn for leaders you never in your wildest dreams considered yearn-worthy. When, before Trump, did you find yourself wishing that someone could just summon the courage, clarity and compassion of Ted Cruz? If only the Texas senator were our president. Back on Saturday, when Trump was still hemming, hawing and hiding, Cruz released a statement superior to what Trump, with more time and the help of many aides, delivered on Monday. The Nazis, the KKK and white supremacists are repulsive and evil, and all of us have a moral obligation to speak out against the lies, bigotry, anti-Semitism and a hatred they propagate, Cruz said. These bigots want to tear our country apart, but they will fail. He was emphatic and eloquent. So were Senator Cory Gardner, a Colorado Republican, and Senator Orrin Hatch, a Utah Republican. As I heard their voices and read their words, I saw a glimmer of something positive. Trump's failings are prompting GOP leaders to enunciate certain principles in a clearer and more unequivocal way than they did before. Because of him, they're drawing lines in the sand, at least semantically. Of course, the winds of opportunism and convenience could wipe out those lines in an instant. Of course, Republicans have upbraided Trump before, only to hug him anew. But there can be no doubt he's past the point of hugging. His pretendaments at the White House on Monday didn't color him warm, cuddly and redeemed. They were just Trump trying to get through another miserable day. And you, Republican members of Congress, have to figure out how your party and the rest of us get through the next miserable years.